so.
Okay, yeah, so I studied with Robert Angelak. He's been the primary influence in my artistic life. Maybe in my adult life, I don't know. Like I said, I came to study with him in '91, and that was supposed to be 4 weeks, and we ended up being together for 18 years. And Bob, when he handed the baton to me, when I started teaching his class, he came every Friday and Saturday, and he was my monitor for the last couple of years. I guess since '03, he's stopped teaching. So he's been coming to class until February this year, and so we've had a good run together. I've studied with other people here at the school too. Stotts Fossold was a huge influence in my life early on. Any decent watercolor I ever did in my life, I pay homage to Stotts because he's really the guy that got me started. And I've studied with other guys here too. Elizabeth Mowry, when she was here, a great pastel teacher, and then Rick Dragon taught me some lithography that I had to bone up on since college. And also the guy who I really give a lot of credit to is Dean Keller. He was an anatomy instructor here many years ago. He's passed on now, but boy, he opened the whole world to me. And you know, it's funny, I was afraid to come to this school for a long time when I was a kid and when I was in college, because I thought it was this uptight art academy. And I just shuddered, I mean, the time I wasted not coming here, you know. But so I've been coming since I was in my late 20s, and I'm not in my late 20s anymore, so. As high tech as we're going to get here. We are basically, some of the classes I teach, the lithography class, we're working with 200-year-old methods, and you know, really traditional methods, especially in the etching also. And block printing didn't, you know, for about 400 years that thing's been going on, and we're pretty close to being as traditional as possible. Not that we're against anything new tech or anything, or high tech, or whatever, however you want to put it, but we have enough going on. There's enough excitement, and there's enough variation between the media, you know, between etching and linocut, lithography, monotype, to keep everybody pretty interested. And like I said, in the last year or so, we've started adding maybe what people might call alternative printmaking processes, you know. And that's opened a whole nother world. And I'll tell you, I've kept these guys reeled in for as long as I could in terms of black and white, you know. But we're exploring color prints as well, and not just in monotype. That's a no-brainer. I mean, that's painting on a plate and sending it through the press. But in our repeatable images, like linocut and etchings, we're starting to incorporate color as well, and it's just been a blast. You know, this is a pretty mellow group of people, and we've become good friends. It's more like a club in this place, and it's open to all members. Just from your wiping, just be careful about that. But also, when you send it to the press, there'll be more pressure under there.
So I should cut that all out?
Well, or if
file it down, do you sometimes file things down?
Well, not on a collograph. I would on like a metal plate. I would file it down. Something like this, I would just take a razor and slice it right off. Bingo. Talio, you're going to get a lot of rich, really rich grays, and this will be more dense, and so it'll be darker. This will be lighter. Obviously, right. Wherever you have these lighter areas that you can wipe out.
Right. That's what I was after.
Yeah. So.
And then I'm going to see if this does look. This might be a good texture for a kimono. The professors totally bullied me, and I thought I had, you know, it was terrible. That was the 70s.
Right.
Total different head now.
Well, yeah, I mean.
But I don't know whether it's me approaching it older.
Well, a little bit of both. You had the courage to come back, and then this isn't exactly a, I mean, this is a non-competitive place. It's like, that's what I think has been the success of it.
Earlier, it was competitive, and the professors were cruel almost.
Yeah. I got that when I went to school. I mean, it was like, oh, we're the art professors, and there was something really, it was a little demeaning, as a matter of fact, and because I was a blue-collar, I mean, I was raised in lower middle class, but I was about the work, and all I wanted to do was paint and do the work, and I didn't have the, you know, the Thurston Howell head, you know what I mean, lovey, you know, and I just wanted to paint and learn how to paint, and it was, I don't know, so it wasn't until I got here that things really started taking off for me. Because this place is run by working artists. That's a really big difference. You know, we'll take our own garbage to the dump, you know, that kind of thing. And I think it makes a big difference. The other thing about the Woodstock School of Art that I think is really critical is that you can walk into any class and there can be somebody who's never picked up a pencil before, next to somebody who used to be a very good artist but got it beat out of them, next to somebody who's been showing at a museum regularly for a year. I mean, and they're here because of the community
of the students.
Oh, it's great. And in every classroom, that sort of adds to it. Instead of, I just don't know people who are uptight about it here. I think it's a really welcoming place. And that's the part we'd like people to know about, for sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a proof of Nancy's work. She's an artist who's been doing this a long time. So she cut this image out of linoleum. Now, if I were taking a real print, I would have a registration mark and have it really lined up. But this is just a proof to see where she is. And her block. Yeah, nice graphic image. Nice black and whites. All right, and so now we know where you are with this image. What I'm seeing is in this area in your sketch, it's a lot lighter than you've actually gotten it. So if you, sure. So you'll be just hatching through here just to lighten it up a little bit.
To lighten this shape.
Yeah, at least the front part of it, and then let's take another proof and we'll see. I think it should stay dark myself, but.
Yeah, let's go with your
Suggestion on that? Okay, great.
with your shot on there.
Yeah, great.
An actual
Take a ghost to this, right? Because you still got a lot of ink in there, and that's great.
Yeah.
See, I love how you're doing all this peppering, like kind of stippling in there.
I think it's the bubbling. I think that poly stuff.
Oh,
starts to bubble
really?
up. And
So what I'm saying is you could probably get a ghost off of this plate. It'll be super faint out here,
yeah.
unless you want to re-ink part of it.
That's what okay.
Yeah.
I think I might want to re-ink a little bit.
Yeah, because otherwise it'll be really, really faint. So,
Yeah.
but then you don't have to do too much in here. It'll be a lighter impression, more like what you're used to getting. In general, on your next one, you might want to pull back just a little and not go quite as deep, because the paper. If this were a different paper, like a really beefier paper, it might have
would
gone
get
in
there.
molded more, But this is more flat, a flatter paper. Still a nice image, and I'd think about putting a color drop on that maybe, or so.
Okay, maybe that would just.
Yeah, it would fill in, it would enrich this part of the image,
Yeah.
I think, because I love all this stuff that happens. I know you said it was extraneous, but I think it looks great. And if you did a color drop on this whole image would pull up a lot more richly, I think. Yeah, great.